Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. This is my first official video of 2018, which just sounds crazy, but I have to say I'm pretty excited about the year. I've been really productive so far, maybe not so much on my channel, but that is gonna change. But I've done a ton of purging throughout my house. I still have yet though to pull down my Christmas tree, and I am seriously so upset and depressed about that. I was like obsessed with my tree setup this year and just Christmas decor in general. It just makes your house so cozy. So just the thought of like bringing it down is kind of putting a damper on my 2018, but I think I'll get through it. Hopefully. But anyways, today's video is going to be all about my most used and favorite beauty products of 2017. I went ahead and included some skincare, hair care, and then of course makeup. There's a ton of makeup. So get cozy, get yourself a snuggly blanket, some snacks, because it's going to be a doozy. All right, I'm actually going to go ahead and start off with some skincare and body care. One of my favorite products of the year is actually a deodorant that I wanted to share with you, and the company Native is actually sponsoring this video, so thanks Native. I have been using this specific deodorant for I'd say 6 to 7 months now. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know I used to have like the itchiest armpits, I know, TMI, and then I realized it was because of the aluminum in the deodorants. I felt like every time that I got in the shower, I was getting a super scrubby. If you happen to have an Asian mother or father, a lot of the Asian like shower scrubbies are super like, not abrasive. They just have this like really strong kind of harsh exfoliant to them, to where you can really like scrub all the dead skin cells off of your skin. And I felt like I was going ham on my armpits, and I realized it was just because of the aluminum buildup. I know even though if you're in the shower and you have the loofah and you're scrubbing it, that aluminum slowly builds up over time, kind of like dead skin. Or if you're someone who uses dry shampoo constantly, you know eventually like at the end of the week you have to go in with a clarifying shampoo to really get all the gunk out of your scalp, but in this case your armpits. So I tried out so many different natural deodorants. I have spent a lot of money on deodorants, trying like several different ones. And then the only thing is, with a lot of the aluminum free deodorants, that's what they are. They're a deodorant. They're not an antiperspirant. So if you're someone who sweats a lot, you do kind of have to get used to using a deodorant versus an antiperspirant, because a deodorant just kind of deodorizes the smell. So Native deodorant is both paraben free and aluminum free. They do have several different scents to pick from, as well as sets. My personal favorite though is candy cane. I'm someone who is obsessed with peppermint oil. I use it for my migraines. I use it for everything, but I love the candy cane because the peppermint oil kind of gives you like a cooling sensation under your pits, which is a plus, especially if you live somewhere humid like me. I absolutely love it. So if you are interested in making the switch to aluminum free deodorant, I highly recommend Native. I will have their site as well as my coupon code down below. Just a quick little heads up, it normally does take your body about 2 weeks to get used to not having like aluminum, just to really purge out all those chemicals. You do want to make sure your pits are really nice and clean before applying, and less is more with these products. You really only need like 2 to 3 swipes, and if you happen to notice any of those little like snowballs, you know, from like classic stick deodorant, just rub it in, and that gives your armpits a nice moisturized situation going on under there. So yeah, that's it for that, but I do have 2 other skincare products that I wanted to quickly mention. I didn't pull out all of my absolute must-haves for skincare because I'm finally, I know it's been forever. I think I've said this so many times, and then I'm like, I don't like the way my bathroom looks yet, but now that we've moved and I like my bathroom and the lighting is better in there, I'm gonna do I think nighttime skincare routine, just because that's definitely more thorough, at least for me. But these 2 were 2 that I felt like I absolutely had to share with y'all. I know this one has definitely been in a monthly favorites before. This is the 𝗟𝗚𝐺 Skin Resurfacing Cleanser. This is from the age-smart line. This is a highly concentrated lactic acid, why can I never say that word? Lactic acid formula. But if you're someone who has a lot of like uneven texture on your skin, or like me, where you have these little super teeny tiny small bumps that are like under the skin that never break the surface, they kind of come and go. I was so good about using this religiously before, like 2 to 3 times a week, but then the second that I stopped, I kind of put it in the back once we moved, and I had stopped using it for several weeks, and I noticed the texture was coming back. So as soon as I introduced this back into my routine, noticed a huge difference. So if you're just looking for something to help with anti-aging, even out texture, highly recommend checking out this product from 𝗟𝗚𝐺. Love it. This is from 𝗟𝗚𝐖, which is a Korean skincare line. It's the Bio Intensive Essence Skin Conditioning Bio Redox redox, yeah, A, for a brighter, smoother, healthier skin complexion. If you happen to have an H Mart around you or any like plaza that has, I believe it's 𝗟𝗘𝗧'𝗦, I always say it wrong, 𝗟𝗘𝗧'𝗦, I'm not sure. I will go ahead and link it down below. You can find the 𝗟𝗚𝗧 products, but this is almost considered like a moisturizing toner if you happen to be really curious about the Korean skincare 10-step skincare routine. If you go onto 𝗟𝗘𝗧'𝗦.com, they have tons of super helpful blog posts, but this is probably my third bottle of it. I absolutely love it. So what I'll do is just kind of sprinkle some onto my hands, clap them together, and just kind of press it into my skin, or you can use it with a cotton pad. Either way, but it's something that I have to have in my skincare routine. Okay, then I do have 3 hair care products here that I wanted to quickly mention. First of all, this is from the brand IGK. I've mentioned their wave spray before, as well as their dry shampoo. I would say those 2 and then Call Time are definitely my top 3 from the line. This is a styling primer. If I'm being completely honest, I rarely blow dry my hair, so what I like to use this for is a detangler because it smells amazing, and then I always just let my hair air dry. Whenever I use this, I notice that my hair feels a million times softer. It's like it smooths down the cuticle and I just end up with less frizzy hair. It's easier to straighten afterwards, like once it's fully air dried, so love this. Plus the packaging, that's just so cute. I love it. Another one, this is a product that I've used for years. I mean, I think I started using this back in cosmetology school, like what, 2006? Something like that. My best friend Brooke had introduced it to me and I adore it. It smells kind of like a bag of Skittles or gummy bears. The smell is amazing. It's from the brand 𝗟𝗘𝗧. This is the Silkening Mist. Brilliant shine instantly. In my last video, several of y'all had asked like, what's in your hair? It looks super shiny and healthy. It's this. I feel like my hair looks dry and crusty unless I use this. The second I spritz this in, it's such a fine mist, kind of dry spray, but it just makes your hair super shiny and it just makes it smell delicious. So love that. Another product, this is kind of a cheat because I didn't start using this until, was it December or end of November? 2 of my friends, Laura and Laylee, both had recommended this. Since then, I feel like I've talked about it on my Instagram stories over and over again. Y'all know I love me some big hair, especially a good texturizing spray. This is the one to get. I believe this full size is like $14 at Target. If your Target isn't completely wiped out of Christmas gift sets yet, go there and take a little peekaroo because I scooped up I think 4 or 5 of the gift sets with minis of the shampoo, conditioner, thickening mist, products that I wanted to try but wasn't sure if I wanted to spend the 10 to, I think the most expensive product they have is maybe like $18, $15, $18. So I got a ton of the deluxe gift sets to try out, but this is one I would highly recommend checking out. The scent is amazing. After I mentioned this on Instagram stories, so many of y'all DM'd me and were like, oh my God, I love it. So yeah, definitely try it out. Okay, moving on to primers. I feel like this was definitely the year for me to try out a million different primers. I love primers. I know some people don't use like face primers and I don't get it. I have to have a primer. I never like just slapping on foundation onto my naked skin. It just doesn't feel right. Like it feels like I'm doing the ultimate sin or something. I just don't like it. My standout primer for the entire year, I do have several that I want to mention, but the number one that like if I had to ditch the others, it would be this one. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer, Primer and Moisturizer in one. It has hyaluronic acid. For someone like me who has normal to dry skin, even if you have oily skin, but you're not looking for any primer that does like amazing pore refining or like mattifying, you're just looking for something to make your skin soft and supple. Just look good no matter what formula foundation you're wearing. This is it. I absolutely love it. It's so good. I love the scent of it. I love the way it feels on my skin. It just works. Whenever I'm packing for a trip, I never have to hesitate. I know that's the primer that I'm going to take because it's that amazing. Another one that I love is from Becca. This is the Backlight, right? Yeah, Backlight Priming Filter. If you're looking for a primer that gives you a little bit of hydration, but more than anything, a nice glow under your foundation, this is the one. I'll wear this under my foundation. Sometimes I mix it in with my foundation. Either way, it works great. Now, on other days, my pores suddenly like grow overnight and they look like they just want to swallow the universe whole. They're that big. I will use this. This is from Too Faced. It's the Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. It's infused with peach and sweet fig cream. Now, every time I mention any of the Too Faced peach primers, I will say this over and over again. I cannot stand the scent. I do wish this primer was unscented, but I'm able to look over it just because it works wonders on this area right here. My final primer, this is from Amazing Cosmetics. It's the Line Smoother and Primer. This one is kind of interesting. It does have that same kind of like silicone pore refining, blurring type of formula, but then it also has these 3 little balls that stay really nice and cool. So it's a great product to apply under your eyes. You do want to go in thin though, because it can get kind of heavy. If you apply too much, it will kind of like pill up, but I love this for this area right here. Y'all, I'm seriously considering, if I wasn't such a cheapo, y'all know I have tried lip injections before, but that's really all I've ever done, like cosmetic procedure wise. I know so many people here on YouTube do fillers and Botox these days. We're definitely considering Botox, because anytime that I like FaceTime someone, I feel like my forehead, I don't know if it's the lighting, I don't think it is. I think I'm trying to be too nice to myself. My forehead is getting wrinkly, y'all. Like, I hit 30 and I swear the wrinkles just like popped out. But this is a lifesaver for right here. I definitely have super deep smile lines that I cannot stand. I feel like whenever I apply this, I will go in, squeeze a tiny bit out, and just really make sure I rub it in and thin it out. It keeps the like foundation and powder from sinking into those parts. The only thing that scares me though, sometimes you see people that get fillers right there and it just makes their whole face look extra pudgy, and my face is already pudgy. So I don't know. I think I'll just have to keep using primer, but all right, moving on. This is actually more of a highlighter slash shimmering base. So I'm still gonna incorporate it with the primers. This is from Burberry. I would say this is probably the most like bougiest product in here. It's the Nude Radiance #1 Fresh Glow Luminous Fluid Base. So I love to apply several dots. I'll do like 1 on my forehead, 2 on my cheeks, chin and nose, and I kind of just mix this in with my foundation. Like as I dot my foundation on, I'll go in and dot some of this on as well. It just gives a really pretty healthy glow. Even on days where I'm wearing no makeup, I'll still go in with my moisturizer, and I'll just go in and spread some of this onto my face just to add some life and glow back into it. But it's such a pretty like natural glowy product. I love it. Doesn't really have a smell, but I do like the packaging too. I don't know, something about that is just appealing to me. Now moving on to my favorite foundations. This video is going to be so long. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep it quicker. Okay, these I'm just gonna briefly show on screen because both of these were in my 2016 favorites as well. I don't think I will ever stop loving these foundations. First is the NARS Sheer Glow. I use mine in medium 1 at Punjab. It's just such a gorgeous foundation. It never lets me down. The other one is the 𝐟𝐸𝐶𝐚 CC+. I mix both light and medium, at least this time of the year. Normally in the summer I can go with just medium. I do prefer the illumination formula, so the one in the pink tube. As you can see, this is the second tube that I'll be finishing this year. The only downside to this product is the shade range is total trash. I don't get it because it's such a great product. But yeah, if you're like super pale or super deep, it's kind of hard to find your shades because there's only like, I think there's fair, light, medium tan, tan, and rich, which, I mean, are you kidding me? You need more shades than that. But either way, for me personally, I love it. It's a foundation I will use like basically forever. The other two foundations I use a ton is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I actually purchased this one from a CCO. I got a great deal on it, which I was stoked about because I'd finished my previous bottle. Now, this is a foundation that I cannot wear on its own. I feel like it's a little bit too drying and heavy on its own. So I always like to mix either like another BB cream, or I'll mix a ton of the Burberry Nude Radiance Glow with it. But if you're looking for a full coverage foundation, if you have a special event and you're looking for something to just cover like basically anything, this is the way to go. It's a really nice full coverage foundation without feeling super heavy like the, what is it? Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation. That foundation is definitely full coverage, but it's one that you can really feel on your face. This, if you really shear it out with the Beauty Blender, you get the full coverage without having that heavy mask-like feel on your face. Another one, this is actually a cushion foundation, another product from 𝗟𝗚𝐼𝐽. I have mine in the shade Neutral Light. This probably wouldn't work in the summer, but this time of the year is perfect for me. Now, just like any other cushion foundation, it does come with a sponge, but I definitely prefer it with a Beauty Blender. So I will just bounce the butt of my Beauty Blender in there and just apply it all over. Definitely more of a like light natural look. You're not gonna get the coverage of the IT Cosmetics CC cream or even the NARS Sheer Glow, but it's just a beautiful everyday foundation. So those are the foundations your girl's been loving. Okay, for concealers, this is another one that I feel like I kind of cheated on, only because these were semi-newer throughout the year, but Tarte Shape Tape was what I used pretty much before these foundations, but I feel like everyone and their mother has talked about Tarte Shape Tape for so long. It's just like beating a dead horse. But I did already mention these in my December favorites, so I'm just going to quickly mention them. The ColourPop, what is it? No Filter Concealer, and then the Urban Decay All Nighter. I mentioned in my December favorites that these two make the best concealer cocktail ever. I love them. If you happen to have both in your collection, try them out and thank me later. They're so good. Now, a newer concealer to my, not new concealer, but new concealer to my routine in 2017 was the Becca, what are you called? Under Eye Brightening Corrector. I don't know how I went this long without this product. I'd heard so many people talk about it, and every time I went to Sephora, I looked at it, but I was like, no, I don't need it. So you can see I made a huge dent in mine. I adore this product, especially for right here. I don't really have like bluish darkness under my eyes. I've mentioned this so many times. It's a weirder, like discolored, like orange, sallow looking shadow, especially right here. And I feel like whenever I dab this product from here about, I would say like to the center of my eye, it just gives me this instant brightness. It's a very, very like moisturizing, thin product, but you have to set it. It will definitely crease if you have any sort of fine lines under your eyes. That's another thing, y'all, these fine lines. I'm telling you, 30 does some wicked things to your skin. I feel like I'm good about skincare, but I'm like, why? The wrinkles, no, they must go. Moving on to blushes. These were in last year's beauty favorites as well because they're that good. If something was in your 2016 favorites and then it's in your favorites again, clearly that means something. It means they're effing amazing. These are the Laura Geller Blush and Brighten blushes. Absolutely adore them. The one that I've been wearing over and over again is Sunswept. In fact, that is what I have on my cheeks right now. It's just such a gorgeous blush. That's all I'm gonna say because I've told you all so many times. And if you haven't got on it yet already, why? It's so good. You need to try it. Especially right now, QVC and Ulta may start like clearancing out some of the holiday sets from Laura Geller. That would definitely be the time to try it. I'm telling you guys, they're life-changing. Okay. Moving on to bronzers and contour powders. This was really the only, oh no, I lied. I forgot to bring it though. The Physicians Formula, is it Muru Butter Bronzer? That's another one that I love, but this is the one that basically took over, I would say, from like March on. This is from Smashbox. It's the contour palette. I can't tell you how many times I saw this in Sephora and I was like, don't need it, don't need it, don't need it. I randomly received it in a PR package and I have not been able to stop using it. I'm embarrassed. It looks very dirty, but it's because I use it every single day. So as you can see, you have more of this, no, over here. The camera always confuses me. You have your Ashy Contour Powder, your Warm Bronzer, and then this is a matte highlight powder. To be completely honest, I rarely use the highlight powder because I'll normally go in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder instead. But the shades of these are perfect. They're buildable. They don't get muddy on the skin. It's something that you can go in with heavy-handed and you're not left with like crazy like splotches on your face. That's the main reason I love it. This is another product that anytime I travel, it always goes with me. Now, if I happen to be in the mood for a shimmery, more like just, ooh, hit the light bronzer, this is Becca's, what is it? Sunlit Bronzer in Capri Coast. They do have several shades of these. This is, as you can see, pretty light, but this is another product that I feel like I can go in heavy-handed and you never end up with muddy cheeks because it just diffuses out so nicely with a fluffy brush. Love this one. So this is Capri Coast. If you're looking for a richer shade, there's also Maui Nights. I want to say like 10 bronzers came out within that line, but I feel like those are kind of underrated. When they first came out, I know people swatched them, but I don't feel like too many people talk about them, and I don't get it. Okay, moving on to highlighters. I used so many highlighters this year. I'm definitely a highlighter junkie. I love trying out different ones. Don't worry, I'm not going to mention this 𝗟𝗘𝗧'𝗦 one because if y'all watch my channel enough, then you should already know. I think I got a little bit too excited with that Kenra spray right here on my bangs because they looking greasy. But these are the Physicians Formula, Physicians, right? Why can I never say that? Physicians Formula Butter Highlighters. Rose Gold is definitely my jam. That's this one right here. I do love Champagne as well. These are seriously amazing. I use Rose Gold every single day. I even use it on my inner corner. As you can see, I'm about to hit pan. There's like the middle of the actual pan right there. Let me give you guys quick swatches. They kind of have a moussier consistency of like ColourPop, but look at those. Oh, they're just so pretty. Sometimes I will top a little bit of this 𝗟𝗘𝗧 or Champagne Pop or a Marc Jacobs highlighter on top, but for the most part, I just wear them on their own and just, when they hit the light, it just gives you that gorgeous like wet cheekbone look. I love them. They're so good. And the fact that they're drugstore products makes me so happy. Okay, now moving on to eye products. Let me go ahead and do palettes first, and then I will show you the individual eye products because I was really feeling some glitter this year. I think that's something that I will pretty much never grow out of. Like, I'll be 80 years old with like really wrinkly scrotum like eyelids, and I'm still gonna be slapping ColourPop glitter on top because I just live for glitter. But these are the palettes that I used, if not every day, then they were like constantly in rotation. The Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. I honestly did not think I was gonna love this palette this much, but this is definitely a palette that I use every single day, whether it's for the brow bone shade or a transition shade. It's amazing just because it's all matte shades. I've seen this in several like disappointing products videos, and I'm like, what? Why? I mean, the only thing disappointing about it to me is the scent of it. I can't stand it. It smells disgusting, but the shades are so good. They perform great. I love the brow bone shades. I love the transition shades. I live for this palette. I have some of this in my crease today. Like, no lie, any day that I do actually wear eyeshadow, I'm wearing at least one color from this palette. So it's definitely a must-have for me. Another palette that I was obsessed with for, I would say, a good 2 to 3 months, and I actually just recently used again, maybe about like last week or the week before, and I was like, why did I ever put this down? This is one of the iconic palettes from Marc Jacobs. This one is in the shade 𝗟𝗘𝗧. Love the shades in here. This is one of the most like richly pigmented coppery shades I have ever used. You barely touch it, and look at that color payoff. The mattes in it are just as good too. Some of them swatch a little bit chalky, but once you actually apply it to your eye, it's a game changer. They're so, so good. And then, surprise, surprise, my ColourPop single shadows. If you guys are interested in seeing like my favorite warm tone eyeshadows under, I believe it was like $10, because I did include some of the Makeup Geek foiled shadows. I did one of those videos, and a lot of them included several of my ColourPop must-haves, but the ColourPop single shadows are amazing. I believe these are either, oh my God, I hate you. Okay, so I'm filming in my dining room. There's a big window in front of us with the blinds. My husband got home and I didn't know, and Keane's just standing there staring at me like a freaking psycho. That scared me so bad. But the ColourPop single shadows, I adore them. It's a great way to like build and customize your own palette with shades that you actually want. Sometimes a lot of us buy palettes and you really end up only loving like 5 out of the 10 shades, whereas with ColourPop you can really go in and customize. I did just hit my head with this. Any of the shades you want. I do think I have 2 full ones of these Makeup Forever metal palettes, but this one is definitely my favorite. I think the light is washing some of them out, or maybe they all really do look that similar, but I love them. I pull this palette out pretty much every day as well. Okay, now onto the single eye products. Surprise, surprise, the Glitter and Glows from Stila. Absolutely adore these. I do believe that these were actually last year's favorites as well, so I'm not gonna go on too long about them, but if you love metallic, wet, glittery looking lids, these are phenomenal. I cannot get enough. Some of my absolute favorites are Rose Gold Retro, Kitten Karma, Diamond Dust is super good. They're just beautiful. In fact, let's go ahead and swatch 2 of these because, I mean, you can't do a video and show these and not swatch them. This one honestly isn't one of my favorites, Smoldering Satin, but Diamond Dust is stunning. Look at those. Just the metallic glitter. Oh, I love them so much. They are pricier, but it's something that I feel like will last a long time. I've had these since last year. They haven't dried out a bit. You only need the tiniest amount, and it's just like New Year's Eve on your eyelids. I love it. And then these are 2 that I don't think, no, I think one of them was in a favorites video maybe months ago, but this is another product from 𝗟𝗘𝗧'𝗦, the Korean cosmetic store. I'm pretty sure I'm like butchering that name. Whatever, I'm gonna give myself an A for effort. These are the Shine Fix eyes. So this is actually the in-house brand. On my eyes right now, I have a gold shade from the Natasha Denona palette that's actually more of like an orangey gold. But then on top of it, I tapped on this shade. This is number 3 Coconut Bay. These are very reminiscent of the L'Oreal Infallible shadows, but I actually like these more. I think these give off more of a metallic finish. So inside this little pot, you just have the product that's packed in. It's not quite as squishy as ColourPop. It's honestly, the texture is pretty much identical to the L'Oreal Infallible shadows. But check out that metallic goodness. So what I'll do is just press that right onto either my bare lid or whatever eyeshadow that I'm wearing. but I love it because it has an actual metallic base, but then there's also these tiny flecks of shimmer. So you just get a ton of dimension on the eyes. So this one is a favorite, as well as this shade here. This one is in the shade Cinnamon Rose. I want to say these were $8 to $10. I was in H Mart recently with my mom whenever they were visiting, and I was really tempted to pick up some of the brown shades. So there is the pinker shade. Aren't they so pretty though? My hand. These swatches right now are giving me all sorts of feelings. All right, so that is it for the individual eye products. Now moving on to lip products. Honestly, all I did was went into my purse and pulled the products out that were in there, because if something's in my purse, it means that I'm using it on repeat and I'm going to need it throughout the day to touch up. So for lip liners, these three were definitely the ones that were on constant repeat. We have the Huda Beauty Lip Contour in Bombshell. This is just a gorgeous rosy mauve nude. I know, surprise, surprise. I feel like those are pretty much the only kind of colors that I wear. Then I have Max Soar. This is probably the shade that I wore the most often. Honestly, it's kind of more of a richer mauve version of the Huda Beauty one. And then finally we have NARS Mariachi, which I featured, I believe, in my last two videos whenever I was wearing a red lip. This is a lip liner that I use. I have so many red lip liners, but this is always the one that I go to whenever I'm looking for a long-lasting red lip. I will both line and fill my lips with that. That way, whatever product is on top, once it fades away, I'm still left with a really nice, richly pigmented lip. Okay, now for glosses. This should come as no surprise. This was another one that was in my December favorites, but it's a yearly favorites. It's Sephora's Lip Gel. I think that's what these are called, in this shade 35 Earth and Fire. This is the best, like, everyday Your Lips But Better type of color. I really wish I would have brought like makeup wipes or baby wipes or something, but it's just the perfect kind of nudie type of mauve shade. Such a comfortable formula. It's not sticky, doesn't leave you with those like really gross webby looking lips. Another gloss that I love that's way more affordable, this is from e.l.f. It's the Mocha Twist Plumping Gloss. This one is so, so pretty. I actually really like the applicator of this one too. Honestly, the formula is pretty similar. The only difference is the e.l.f. one does have a little bit of like a tingling, cooling sensation. But as you can see, like they both have that kind of like semi-sheer, opaque gel-like look. Love this one. If you guys happen to have this gloss and you've tried some of the other shades, let me know what other shades are must-haves, because this one is so good. Will you bring me a paper towel? I forgot to bring one. He's staring at me from the stairs like a weirdo again. Okay, and then my third and final gloss, this is one from Bare Minerals. This is actually what I have on my lips right now. It's the shade Totally. It's just a really pretty nude gloss. So this is actually the combo that I have on my lips with the Huda Beauty lip liner that I showed you. So I will line and fill my lips with the Huda Beauty Bombshell. Then on top I apply Bare Minerals Sex Pot. I love this formula. I forget what these are called. I want to say it was like a lip gel something as well. Thanks. Would you like to say hello? No. Okay, just kidding. Sorry, I tried. Okay, let me give you a quick swatch of this. So this is pretty much as nude as I go, because I tend to stick to more of like the rosy mauves, but if I am going to wear nude, that's gonna be it right there. And then finally, the Smashbox Always On liquid lipsticks. I would say for the last 3-ish months or so, these are pretty much the only liquid lipsticks that I was wearing. I love the formula, it's long lasting. There's tons of different shades to choose from. The formula is comfortable, I just love them. So 3 of my absolute favorites are Bang Bang, Deep Thoughts, and then Babe Alert. I know, more rosy mauves, and then the red there. Those are all of my favorites from 2017. I would love if you left a comment down below with some of your must-have products. I always like taking y'all's recommendations or just hearing what you are loving at the moment. Yeah, I hope you guys all had an amazing year. I wish you nothing but the best for this coming year. Thanks for all of your support, and yeah, if you haven't already, please take the time to subscribe. I would love it, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.